This is a quick one. It's a very quick one. I'm so excited to share this because it's given me the impression that all the content we've been putting out there so far is yielding some very positive results. I say this because just less than 12 hours ago, a company reached out to me and they said they're actually wanting to recruit for an advisory board position for their company, which is a startup company based in Abuja, and they already have gotten several other advisory board members for that particular company, and they need somebody with a northern spice, somebody who understands northern Nigeria very well as far as the startup landscape in Abuja and across the entire northern part of Nigeria is concerned. And I began to think, like, who would I recommend to this particular company? Who is that person that has the juices? Who is that person that has paid the price? Who is that person that has the networks? Who is that person that can deploy his intellect, that can deploy his imagination, can deploy his skill sets, to the benefit of this particular company? Because the founder of that company basically is somebody that I aspire to be like. He's a marathon result-oriented person. So I wouldn't want to match that kind of a company with somebody who is still tiptoeing in the game. So I spoke to some friends, spoke to different people, and all of a sudden a name came up, Mohammed Jega, and I was like, wow, I've read so much about this guy. I see him on LinkedIn all the time. He's always in and out of one particular intervention project, program or the other, across Nigeria, across Africa, across Europe. He's a much sought after individual in terms of what he has given to the entrepreneurial landscape of northern Nigeria and across Nigeria as well. He has co-founded several businesses. He has supported the co-founding. He has supported the founding or the startup of several ingenious technological businesses and all that. So when his name came up, I was like, wow, this is the guy we're actually looking for. I was like, and I spoke to the interview. I said, okay, can you get us his profile? Can you get this? Can you get that? In less than about 20 some minutes or thereabouts, his profile came in and I read the profile. I was like, wow, this is really awesome. I'm saying all of this just to say some things, or just to say one thing, that the journey to building you is never too late or too early. You're never too early to start, or it's never too late for you to start really building yourself and putting yourself out there for companies to be able to see the possibility of going into a relationship with you. And why this is also key and also important is because a lot of companies that have a clear future path, they know that it is important. It is definitely important to have this advisory board. I've talked so much about advisory board. It's almost like I'm trying to put myself out there as somebody who wants to be an advisory board member of startups, of companies. Of course, yes, why not? I'll pick that opportunity, when it comes. But I'm also at a place where I have to recommend people, I have to recommend individuals that are grinding, that are paying the price, that are putting in the work. Because even to be an advisory board member, it's also some level of work. Despite the fact that some advisory board positions, or most of them definitely, especially if it's for the non-profit sector, then you may not necessarily expect so much in terms of remunerations. But if it's for companies that make profit, there's some little give out or give away in terms of maybe having to attend board meetings and all that, and all the perks that come with that. But that's not really the point. The point basically I'm trying to drive across is, you too can become an advisory board member or an independent director, for example, for a company. Are you positioning yourself correctly? Are you positioning yourself to become an advisory board member for a company? Have you put in the work? The beautiful thing basically, or not so beautiful thing, is that a lot of individuals have put in the work but have refused to document. People just live the life and they live it. They go, come, eat, sleep, wake up, do all of those things, have a family and all that. It has actually gone beyond all of that. When you are starting out on your own journey as a CEO or as somebody who runs a company, a founder or a co-founder, as the case may be, it is your job to document your successes as well as your failures, because your failure also serves a purpose, because there's something about somebody who has failed a great deal that you can learn a whole lot from. One of the major things you can learn from that individual is how not to fail. And how not to fail is not something that is taught in schools or anything. People go through those failures and they begin to rejig their own systems, their own processes, to see how they can actually do a whole lot better. So it's a game plan. It's a game plan, and the game plan is this. For you to play within that advisory board space, for you to have that reputation of somebody who has a lot of value to bring to entities, enterprises, companies, conglomerates, holding companies, group of companies, as the case may be, you have to follow a stringent step to document your processes, to document your successes, to document your failures. It's very key, it's very important. Put word out about yourself out there. In fact, there was a LinkedIn profile I saw recently, and what really blew my mind was the lady who actually had that profile. She was so clear as to what she wanted. One of the things that she stated there is that she's open and available to serve on advisory boards. How many of you have really thought about the opportunity that this can bring to you in terms of you networking with other top players in industries and all that? It could actually be even a career pathway for some people. I know of an individual, who mentors me by some of the results that he's delivering and a whole lot of other factors. He serves on the advisory board of about 4 to 5 companies, and the experience he's been pulling out from those places is enormous. If he puts all that experience into a book, I'm very sure that's like another stream of income for him. So I'm just trying to tell you out there, you can also be an advisory board member. Yeah, that's you that I'm talking to, you who's listening to me. You can be that person, but you have to put in the work. Then I'll just briefly talk about what are some of the things that can come alongside you being an advisory board member. Don't forget, I've mentioned Mohammed Jega, Dominion Solutions. He's one of the founders, or one of the people who put that together. They've done several things across Africa, Europe, and all of that, And one of the things that he would be bringing to this particular company, for example, as much as he's bringing himself, all the experiences, the exposure that he has been, all the things he has been exposed to, all the contacts that he has, all his connections, his intellectual might, his skill set, all of these things, that is powerful credibility. So for any company that has the persona of a Mohammed Jega on your board, for example, and this video is not to hail him or anything, it's just to state that when people are coming to your company to serve in that capacity, they are bringing their instant credibility. Imagine the credibility that this guy would have gathered over the years across several industries, bringing all that credibility to build and support a new brand. That in itself is priceless. You can't actually pay for that. You can't pay for that. You can't pay for that. The failures, the successes, all the inroads, the innovation, the digital transformation experience, all of that coming in one individual as a success capsule that company is going to be swallowing. Awesome, massive. So I'm expecting that this new startup in Abuja, having the likes of Mohammed Jega on their advisory board, will be doing excellently and magnificently well. You can't have that kind of an individual and the board is not, it's not tight. The directors are not dishing out one useful information after the other, or one useful result after the other. So that's what you can actually have. Then also you can have access. The company that brings in these kinds of individuals can have access to their connections. So you might be thinking of getting across to a governor, for example, or even the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or some certain senator somewhere and all that. But you have the anchor person right on your team, right on your advisory board. You are thinking of trying to scale certain regulatory hurdles, and you have the person right on your team that can cut that gap, that can bridge that gap in the interest of the company. Oh my God, this is really sweet. I feel like I can actually taste what I'm actually saying, and I just hope that somebody listening to this can begin to rethink. Somebody posted a video posted a comment in one of the videos that I think it was about what do you do if you don't have money to pay an independent director? I'm going to be addressing that in the next video. So if you want to know some of the things that you can actually do, trust me, this is the opportunity you have. There are several ways to go about this. You must not put money at the edge, but how do you cut the chase to get people to believe in you enough not to bill you or charge you? To say, okay, I'm going to do this pro bono, like this young man, this young person, he has actually put in the work and I believe I can trust what he's doing. So I'm going to be telling you 3 to 5 things that you can do to get top class minds, excellent minds, bourgeois minds. I'm not saying bourgeois from a place of trying to say distinguish between small or big, but what I'm saying is that you have access to magnificent individuals that wouldn't mind being on your advisory board on a pro bono basis. In fact, there are a lot of profiles, I'm sure, online. People just want to give back. They see it as an opportunity to lift one, because if each one should lift one, then the space will be more concentrated in terms of quality, vitality, and all of that. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Then it also helps when you have an advisory board. Imagine you have a top caliber of individuals on your advisory board. In fact, even the CEO, he will not want to mess up. He won't want to mess up, because one of the things also that the board of directors now might be thinking of is, if the CEO is not dishing out some of the juices that he's receiving from the advisory board, it could also threaten the position of that CEO if he's not careful. Because if you have like top individuals on your advisory board and you have a CEO who is always messing about, giving excuses and all that, it's a recipe for his removal. So the point basically I'm trying to make is, put yourself in a proper place that you can begin to attract advisory board positions, get people to know what you can offer, include it on your LinkedIn profile, include it on your Facebook profile, talk about it on your Instagram, on all your social platforms. Let companies know that you are ready to also give them value from the expanse of experience that you have gathered over the years. And trust me when I say this, you could be the next advisory board member to a top startup or to a company that is actually going somewhere to happen. You just have to play it right.